Hey ladies and gents, welcome back and thank you so much for taking the time out to join us today. So today I figured we would do another shoe shine tutorial. Do it together. Sometimes if you want to go get your pair of shoes while I shine these and we shine them together, that would be great. So go grab that cup of coffee, grab a drink, whatever you'd like, and let's get started. So this is a pair of Crockett Jones cap toes that were brought in to us by Daniel from Alabama. We thank you very much for bringing these in to us. And what Daniel wants to do is just clean these off really well, get them cleaned up, conditioned, and then he wants to put a really nice gloss up on the toe area. So that's what we're going to do. So go get your supplies and let's get started. All right, so the first thing that we want to do, as always, we're just going to remove these laces from the shoes. Again, it's not always imperative to remove the shoelaces. I get asked this question all the time from folks when they see some of our videos, and in some of the videos we leave the laces in there, and you know, they ask, why don't you remove the laces? And it's not something that you have to do every time. You know, when I'm shining my shoes and I'm just doing a basic shoe shine, I'm not looking to get, you know, cream up here on the toe area or around the laces. You know, I'm just trying to make the overall shoe look nice, you know, and just cleaned up a little bit from the previous wear or two. And that's all that you have to do. If you're getting into a deeper shine, kind of like this gentleman wants to do today, okay, then it makes sense to go ahead and remove them, but it's just not something you have to do. And as Kirby Allison said on one of his videos, and I totally agree with him, you know, when you have a really nice pair of shoes, you're putting a lot of stress on these eyelets. Not all eyelets have, you know, the little grommet around here, the little metal grommet. So you're putting a lot of stress on that. And it also, every time you pull these out, these little tabs here on the end of the laces, you start wearing those out as well. So it's just, again, it's not something that I would recommend doing on every single shoe shine that you do. All right, so we've got these laces out. Let's put the shoe trees in. All right, now let's just brush these off. All right, so I'm going to use some of this leather soap just to clean these shoes up a tad. Now, as you've seen in other videos of ours, sometimes we can use, like this leather soap from Saphir, comes with this little pad, and you can use that or you can use a dauber. It's really up to you. Just as long as you get that, as long as you get the soap nice and sudsy, that's all you're trying to achieve. And this little pad, applicator pad that comes with it, does a pretty good job. Again, I don't like to let the soap sit on there long, so as soon as I do one shoe, I go ahead and dry it off. So if you let the soap sit on there, it just turns into like a dry haze, and it just doesn't shine up as well. So all right, after I have cleaned those off with the saddle soap, I like to go over it with my brush and just buff this off again. Next, I always like to use conditioner, because if you're going to take your shoes and you're going to strip them down, or if you're going to use saddle soap on them, or really if you're just giving any shoe shine, even if it's just a quick, you know, 5-minute shoe shine like we've done a video on before, throwing a little conditioner on there definitely cannot hurt, and it doesn't take that long, and it's actually just a really good thing to do to your shoes quite frequently. And you really want to make sure that you're getting some up in this vamp area as well, because this is generally where you're going to see the majority of your cracking. If you take good care of your shoes and you're conditioning them regularly, you should not have cracking along here, along the vamp. But since that's where the flex point is on your shoes, you definitely want to make sure that you're getting a lot in that area. Again, we'll let this dry to a haze, and after it's done, again, I like to buff it off. As we've said before, that renovateur always does such a good job, not only conditioning your shoe, but it does have some waxes in there, and it just does such a good job even bringing out a light shine on that shoe. And again, I haven't put anything else on, as you saw, except for that renovateur. Alright guys, so we have those done. Now what I'm going to do is put on some of the pomadier cream. Obviously this one is in black. And like I've said before, I always like to use cream when I'm doing a shine, because that is what does the best job putting back into that shoe the color, and it covers up any scratches or scuffs. And then after that, I'll apply the waxes, but you just can't beat using a good shoe cream. And like I said in one of our videos before, if I were to choose one product that I just had to have, I would choose the cream, and more specifically this Saphir Pomadier cream. And a lot of people will ask, well, you know, didn't you say that conditioner is important? That's probably what I would use first. Well, this cream has a lot of conditioning agents in it, so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds with this cream. Not only are you able to put a shine on your shoe, you're able to cover up scuffs, but you're also able to get a really nice shine, and again, as well as condition it. So it's just a great overall, all-around product. Now I also like to get along these sole and welt line as well, to cover up any of those scuffs, as well as to condition that leather. So definitely don't forget to do that. And back here on this heel block as well, Pomadier cream does a really good job of just putting the coloration back into that heel block. All right, now after we've allowed that cream to dry to a haze, we will once again buff that off. All right. And then, like I always say, after I've buffed it off the shoe cream, I like to just take a soft rag and lightly wipe over that shoe, because it'll take off any of that excess pigment that's on the shoe. You don't want that to, one, to get on your pants, and two, before I start applying the wax, I just like to have that excess pigment taken off. All right, so you can see just from the wax how beautiful that shoe is already looking. So if you wanted to stop here, you could definitely do that. But again, this gentleman wants to have a much higher shine on the toe cap, so that's what we're gonna do. But that does look really nice. Again, just from adding a little bit of shoe cream to your shoe, that's what you end up with. So definitely keep that in mind. One thing that we're going to do it a little differently today, and I actually saw this on the Elegant Oxford channels. As you know, we're good friends with Preston from that channel, and I was watching one of his videos the other day, and he mentioned that on his black shoes, he often gets a really good shine by using the navy blue Pate Deluxe wax. And I had never heard of that before. You know, I've been shining shoes for years, and that's originally how we started out this business. Was we were a pickup and delivery shoe shine service here in Nashville, and I had never heard of that little trick. So one of the things that we really like about shining shoes, or just, you know, style or taking care of your wardrobe, is just gaining tips from each other. You know, it shouldn't be some coveted secret that everyone wants to keep to themselves. It's one of those things we're all trying to help each other out. We're all trying to help you, ladies and gentlemen out there, take better care of your wardrobes and your shoes. So anytime that we hear a tip or you hear a tip from someone else, you know, pass it along, because it's definitely one of those things that we're all trying to help each other out to achieve a better us. So anyways, thanks to Preston for that little tip. We're going to give that a try on these pair of Crockett Jones today. So let's get back to it. All right. So again, I just opened this tin of the navy blue Pate Deluxe. I'm going to take my really old worn out t-shirt here that I like to use when I'm using wax, and I'm going to apply just a little bit of this navy blue onto the entire shoe, because even though the gentleman doesn't want a shine, a glossy shine all over the shoe, you definitely want to make sure the entire shoe is protected. So again, I'm just going to apply a couple of really light coats all over the shoe. All right, so we have a couple coats of this Pate Deluxe wax all over the shoe. If you don't have the Saphir products, definitely feel free to use whatever brand you have out there. But again, this is just the products that we use here at our shop primarily. All right, now what we're going to start doing is using the mirror gloss, which is really going to help bring out that shine here on the toes. As I've said before, because the mirror gloss is made up of a lot of hard waxes and does not contain any solvents in it, it really fills in those pores a lot better than even the Pate Deluxe does, and it just really helps to bring out that shine quicker. And what you're trying to do in order to build a mirror shine, you're trying to fill in all of the little pores inside of the leather. And once you fill those pores in, then it becomes a very smooth, flat surface. And that's where it allows those waxes to begin building up. And that is what creates the mirror shine. And just as a reminder, all of the products that you see us using in our videos, we do carry here at our shop as well as online. So that website below, potterandsons.com, will take you to our site where you can find all of these products. All right, you just want to work that in really well, and like I said, begin filling in the pores of that leather. All right, so I've added a little bit of water on there, and as you can see when I do that, it really starts to bring out the shine on that toe. All right, what we'll keep doing is just adding more of this mirror gloss, and then every now and then I'll put maybe a coat of the navy blue Pate Deluxe, or if you have black, you know, of course, feel free to use black. If you have neutral wax, you can use that as well. When it comes to the waxes, you know, as long as you're in this color scheme, you know, again, neutral is always fine. Navy blue or black would be great. But we'll just put a coat or two of that. Then I'll go back to the mirror gloss. I'll put a couple coats of that, and I kind of just go back and forth until I achieve that shine that I want. And that's what we're just going to continue to do today. All right, guys. So as you can see, the shine is beginning to show up on the toes. And what I've just been doing is, like what I mentioned, I'm just kind of going back and forth between putting a couple of coats of the mirror gloss, and then I'll mix it up and put a coat of the Pate Deluxe wax. And then in between each time that I rub the rag and try to buff it out, I put a little water on there with my finger, and then I just lightly rub it until that shine shows up. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I'd hate to cut it short on you and not go through the whole process, but like I've said before, when you're trying to get a mirror shine on your toes, it can literally take an hour or two, if not more. I mean, you can continue to go and go and go until, you know, it looks like you're looking in absolute glass. So I had to cut it short, but I hope that got across the point of, you know, what you sort of need to do. And like I said, you can check out many of our other videos too, where we also go into more depth as to, you know, what we do on each pair of shoes for each particular shine. So feel free to check those out as well. So we got this pair of shoes back the way the customer requested. Again, we just went over them, we cleaned them off, we put some conditioner on there, followed up with some shoe cream, and then I literally worked on these toes for probably an hour, hour and a half. But I have to get back to resoling a lot of your shoes. I have a lot of work to do, so we're going to wrap it up for today. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please feel free to leave any comments below. We like getting back to you folks and answering as many of those as we possibly can. Definitely subscribe to our channel and hit the thumbs up button so that we know that you like this video. And until next time, have a great day.